Hey everyone, excuse me for a sec. Well, it's been a long time coming, and hopefully this won't happen again, but I've done a lot of thinking since this review, so yeah. So thanks to Hasbro. Again, I know you've been waiting long enough, but it's finally time to review Sleepless in Ponyville. Again. So the episode starts out in shining Ponyville as we see Scootaloo flying through the air and doing tricks and wanting to be impressed by Rainbow Dash. At the same, she tells other friends Apple Bloom and Ponyville what happened, and she wants to try to spend time with her. Apple Bloom suggests that she can come with her and Applejack on the camping trip. Ponyville wants to come, with some amazing persuasion. Oh, I thought you were talking about like the campers who like stay behind enemy lines in games and just shoot from a distance and don't go anywhere. So they go to the campground, and after some more walking and stuff, they see Rainbow Dash arming a campfire pit, and Scootaloo tries to impress her. Sure. It doesn't really go anywhere. They're just for comedic effect. And as soon as he says that, Rarity opens the fancy air tent. When did she have the time to pack that? She really did come over prepared for this. Still that night, Rainbow Dash decides to tell a story about the headless pony, which is basically like the headless horseman. Crap. Okay, no, not... anyway, like some old lady pony who has like a rusty horseshoe, but doesn't really... Everybody is essentially scared, except for Scootaloo. But turns out Scootaloo gets scared, and that night has a nightmare, somewhat in vision of A Nightmare on Elm Street. And is eventually chased down by... Oh. So she heads back to the tent and sees a familiar figure. And don't forget jump scare! So Scootaloo then ends up freaking out about the dream and doesn't even sleep once. I love that look. So Scootaloo goes to check on the head, but ends up falling asleep on her scooter. But Applejack seems to notice that she's a little more jumpy because of the lack of sleep she's got. Is it thanks or labor? So that night, Scootaloo tries to get some branches, and if you remember from my old review of this, you know this is somewhat reminiscent to the SpongeBob episode, The Half-Slinging Slasher Bit. Despite the fact there are trees behind you. So then Rainbow Dash tells about the headless pony, but it ends up freaking out Scootaloo even more, so in order to stay awake, we get the funniest bit of the episode with Speedy Belle trying to sing, but not very good. It's just like with the phone, like it's fully charged one moment and then it dies the next minute. So Scootaloo doesn't want to go to sleep, but ends up falling asleep anyway, and here's Trot with the Headless Horseman. But being able to save is in the grace of Princess Luna, who happens to go into people's dreams.
Luna, I thought you were the headless horse. You were mistaken, but I was not disappointed. You are so much better than the headless horse. But what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be... I am the princess of the night. Thus it is my duty to come into your dreams. Yeah. Wait,
Yeah, I really like the dream effect here. It just basically shows that one touch shows that it's almost like a dream. And here we find out what truly what Cthulhu really is afraid of.
Is the headless horse really what frightens you the most? I'm afraid Rainbow Dash will find out I'm not as tough as she thinks I am. Every pony has fears, Ponyville. Every pony must face them in their own way. But they must be faced, or the nightmares will continue.
That's true. So Scootaloo ends up waking up, but her paranoia gets to her, and she ends up falling in the river, but Rainbow Dash saves her. And tells Rainbow Dash the truth.
I'm gonna deny it. First time I heard those stories, I was scared too. You were? Sure. I mean, I got over it because I realized pretty quick that if there was such thing as a headless horse, I could totally take it off. So, you're looking for some pony to take you under their wing, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I might be up for something like that. Really? As long as you don't go falling into any more rivers in the middle of the night.
So Rainbow Dash and Scootaloo then form a friendship, and then because of this, Scootaloo has a nightmare, but is saved by the grace of Rainbow Dash in her dreams. And thus, that was my re-review of Sleepless in Ponyville, and my opinion really hasn't changed. I still consider it to be a good episode of Season 3. So there really isn't So I didn't really think I'd talk about much in great detail, but I did the last review, which honestly I would have preferred to keep it that way, so thanks a lot, Hasbro. So, aside from that, nothing has really changed from my opinion. The animation is still great, the moral is still very easy to learn, the comedy is very funny in this episode, and there's just a lot of good moments and all the little pieces that just make this episode work. So again, my opinion of this episode hasn't changed. It still remains around an A because of some, itty moments that get you kind of confused at times. But, as I said, this episode still gets an A. I know this is a short review, but I assume if I do this shorter. So, I'm King Gamer, and at long last, I'll finally see you in Rainbow Falls if I don't come across any more problems.